Kiani was in the house.
Hello. Oh,
Are we on?
we are.
Oh,
again.
hi.
I don't. It's amazing, isn't it? The power of technology. Hello and welcome to Be Honest with Bruce and Jojo.
Well, being honest, I thought that was the beginning of a Mary Kiani dance song, because I think this is where she began her career here in the
And who the hell is Mary Kiani?
Well, do you remember Spencer Railton, the designer, who ended up in a padded cell in Morocco? By his own admission, by the way, not libelous, can't be bothered with any of that nonsense. It was just,
guess who don't sue, but we know who.
Well, Spencer. And she sang with the TTF, the Time Machine, and all that kind of stuff. And she was very tall, wasn't she? And she was like a kind of, I think she was Navajo Indian or something like that. She had very dark features. A broad Glasgow accent, but looked like a human pawn shop. Very thin, very thin. And then I think she went off to Australia because the guy from Delmonico's, Brian something or other, he was addicted to sunbeds and had to come off them. Him and his partner. So I used to, very briefly, by the way, and we'll get on to the real stuff. So I used to do a thing in his club called The Shack. It went on fire. Wonder why it went on fire, eh, Brian? All that lovely money. And I used to do a thing called Shack Ass with these students. But then one night I got bored, I got drunk, I choked on the cream crackers, I was sacked. And he's over in Australia now, and I think Mary Kiani. So anyway, so that was Mary Kiani. How are you, Jojo?
I'm very well, thanks for asking. And I like a little bit of a history lesson.
Yes.
Before we start our podcast, I think we've started.
Oh, I
Hello.
think we have.
Yeah.
I think we have. Pants are on. Let's go.
Pants are on, let's go. We just went and had a bacon and egg doubler, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Well, I had one. You
Well,
didn't.
I didn't, and actually I really don't like eggs, and the smell was making me physically sick. The fact that you had it everywhere all over the table, and the fact that the woman was like, I put salt and pepper in it. I was like, fucking you dirty bitches. Sorry for swearing, we're not meant to. So yeah, that was a wee bit of a trauma for me, but I was a good girl.
You were a good girl, and you didn't make it. Well, you did make quite a lot of faces.
Well, I couldn't look at you. It was disgusting. It was everywhere.
You genuinely couldn't look at me.
No.
I could see your physique diminishing in front of me.
Yes. And that's one thing. I'm not Devlin the Diminisher. I'm a big girl.
But as customer service goes, they were very good, I thought.
Well, she was very funny because she went, oh, hiya, what are you doing today? Anything nice? I said, oh, we're here to visit a friend, so no. And she went, honesty is the best policy, which I actually really think she did genuinely say this.
She did genuinely say that.
That was a kind of baptism of fire for moving forward.
Absolutely. It felt like we'd been
anointed.
Blessed. Anointed, that's a good word,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes.
And then we've had all kinds of conversations. Well, this is the thing. I despair of you, Bruce Devlin.
Why?
In as much as you don't like giving people lifts in cars or staying in other people's houses or, people, really.
Yeah, there are certain people that I like, but being honest, why would you want anyone in your car? Why not? It's funny, actually. Someone who shall remain nameless had got in touch with me on 2 occasions last year. Oh, hi, I see we're on the same bill. Can I get a lift from you? And I said, no. And they
Just
went,
no.
All right, no, is that to do with COVID? And I went, if you want it to be, but no, I would rather you want it in my car. Why? I said, because it was brand new back in March. Don't want you in the upholstery. So as the car agent, I'll deal with the car. No, and why would you want to stay in people's houses? Do you not have your own house?
Well, I do have my own house, but I book all
Stay
my
in it
gigs.
then.
No, I book my gigs as depending on where I know somebody lives and I can stay with them.
There is nothing worse, because I don't encourage people to come and stay.
You don't? Oh, well.
Because it's always, where are the coffee pods? And it's like, I've shown you once. If you don't know where anything is, get out. Actually, could you just get out? I hate you.
Well, the difference between you and I is I'm quite sociable, Bruce.
No, I'm sociable as well. I don't like dicking around in people's houses asking for things like towels.
That's a lie. What do you mean you don't like dicking around in other people's houses? I thought you loved that kind of stuff.
No, I'm more of an outdoors person. I like the brevity of the situation. I know. I've done the go around people's houses. See, if there's one thing I hate, it's a smell. And a lot of people, particularly bummers, and you will listen to this because it is honest, your house is honk and you shouldn't actually have them. Oh my goodness, honestly, the amount of times, seriously, I've come across a defiled doodle and I've just left. Because I thought, there's no need for that. And this place is just, it's like, I'd like to think that I'm not a snob, but you look at their bed and you think, oh my God.
I can't help but judge.
That was from the bargains bin in Morrison's. How much was it to begin with?
I can't help but judge when I do go into people's houses and the way that they decorate and the way that they...
and they've normally got a husband who, or a wife, and, you're told, oh, here's my funny friend and all that, and they're just looking at you as though, when are you going to die? And you're like, I know your marriage is a sham, but I'm not really here to upset you.
Guess who don't sue?
Well, absolutely. Take your pick. Take your pick, honestly. So no, I'm not for that at all. Why would you want people in your car? That's when you get all your singing done.
I do like the company if I'm driving on a long journey.
Why are you scared of being on your own? What's wrong?
Maybe that's it, is it? I'm scared of my
God.
own company. Well, the other thing with not giving someone a lift is the COVID excuse, isn't it? In as much as everybody now does use COVID as, oh, come on.
No, that's true, actually. Thank you for that. Thank you.
It was.
Got a little Velma on the desk today.
But everybody does use COVID as an excuse now for
I
things
never
that
did before, and I don't do it now. It's nothing to do with... I just don't want you in my car. I don't want to hear you breathing. I don't want to see if you're any epidermis go on my sports seats. I don't like what you're wearing normally, and you're probably wearing some kind of honking fragrance. So get out.
Fair enough.
And I just don't understand it. So I have another friend who's like, could you give me a lift here? Could you give me... And it's like, you've got a car sitting outside your house. Whoa, what do you want me to do? Like, go away. I remember, actually, could you give me a lift? Wait for this. So I can attend a funeral. I went, all right. So the funeral wasn't in Edinburgh. Won't reveal where it was. Kirkcaldy. So I said, are you expecting me to take you to go to whoever's dead and then hang about in Kirkcaldy where there's nothing to do since they've shut all the public toilets down and wait for you while you throw someone into a fiery pit or a hole in the ground? Do one. I think that's outrageous.
I'm intrigued by the lifestyle of going and having sex in a public toilet, genuinely.
But you've never done that.
No, why on earth
Neither have
would
I if my niece and nephew are listening, but I know people
But
that have.
seriously, is that something that genuinely happens? You just go into a
Yes.
public toilet and
Yes.
but how do you know that the other person's there?
They've normally got their dick out. That's normally why.
Because when I go to a public toilet, then I go
just
to a
go for a
public
wee
toilet.
key. Although I was in a public toilet, well, it was John Lewis, and I'd come out the toilet and I'd had to go on my hunkers because I had the dog in a pram and I was gagging on a stool, right? So I'm squatted over this
Gagging
thing,
on a stool as in to sit down. Oh, as in to
I
have
needed a jobby.
Right, okay,
Wow.
sorry.
Still, that's the medical term.
Well-
so I'm up here, and then I came out, and someone went, "Oh my God, there's a child in there." I went, "Well, first of all, she's a dog." I
She
didn't
is a
want to
child.
go. Well, she's kind of my child, but I didn't want to go in the disabled toilet because I thought that was disrespectful. So I basically I stool squatted and shat in the John Lewis toilets. So no bumming or anything like that. You couldn't do that in front of the dog anyway. But yes, Liberty Toilet in London. That was so busy.
You see, I think
So
it's
I'm
a whole
told.
new world. I'm intrigued
I
by
used
the
to
world of homosexuality. I genuinely am.
Really?
Yes.
Because they're fairly predictable. There's do you know, actually, I was saying that to someone the other day, just going off on a tangent, just bummers, and this obsession with, cock spunk, and you're just like, God, does no one cook a Sunday lunch? Does no one want to go for a nice walk or anything? Oh, come in and defile me, and they're always on their knees, and they're always wearing hoods because they're so ashamed, and do anything you want to me, but don't leave any marks. And it's like, where is your dignity? Grow up. We all like a horizontal refreshment, but get a grip. But going back to what
Well,
you
we'd
would...
love to have some horizontal refreshment, but someone's been lacking in that department, so I
Well,
need some top tips, but I don't feel I'm going to get them from you.
understand. I don't understand what's wrong.
No, I
Peel
don't
off those leggings. Get loose. But I used to have straight friends that were like, if only there was a toilet for heterosexual people.
I would be up for that,
Oh, absolutely.
bizarrely. in my twilight years, I'd give that a whirl. I think I would. Do you know what I mean? I know I don't strike you as someone that would just have random
Listen, the
sex in a
heart wants
toilet.
what the heart wants, and you are being honest about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
We
I think
seem to
people
have
aren't.
gone down this bum route.
I know, we've gone down a very mucky
dark
corridor.
hole.
We've gone down a mucky corridor of getting cock in a cubicle.
Oh, and please, and this will mean something to the homos out there, for the love of God, douche. Let's move on.
I think let's stop.
Before we're taken off the air.
Cock in a cubicle, is that what this episode's called?
Oh, there you've got your autobiography. I remember I used to do a joke about it. I'm signing copies of my new travel book for gays going to France. It's called Baguettes, Brie and HIV. And it used to get a mixed response, but I used to tell them there was rocket on the baguette, and that seemed to get me out of any danger. Odd.
Very strange.
I know. Is there anything that you would like to ask me from the carefully collated list?
The carefully collated list says, actually, be honest, would you accept a New Year's honour?
Absolutely. And it wouldn't be for me, it would be for my mother, because that's the only thing. You know, my mother's not going to listen to this about people bumming in lavatories, is she?
Well, I would hope not.
No, Mary's not going to enjoy that. But a nice day at Holyrood with Princess Anne, doing a trick with the hairpin that keeps her whole face up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Only takes her 10 minutes, and our 10 minutes are up. So we're off.
Well, there you go then.
Please subscribe.
Please do. You'll find out where to subscribe wherever you found this.
Yeah.
And can I just say well done for finding this?
Well done for finding it. And if
I
you
feel
follow
you've-
Bruce, you'll find a whole lot more.
Well, absolutely. And pun intended. Whole. Bye.
Bye.